Now we're joined by Nikhil Joshi, our editor, News 18 Kannada, who did that interview, in fact. Very good afternoon to you, Nikhil. You just received the Tiranga. I saw Har Ghar Tiranga campaign is going on. Well, coming to your interview, a lot of pertinent points made there, a very interesting point about Kabul, but also, he's referred you to what the spokesperson said about China, but that's really making news. The fact that India is speaking up that our relationship with China is not normal, and that the situation at the border could turn dangerous. What sort of sense did you get from interacting with him?
You see, if you have to break this interview down in parts, one would be about China and all its misendeavors and these misadventures that China is attempting. And the other is the role of the UN. In an increasingly globalized society, we're looking at some kind of an interdependency, which is a matter of inevitability as well, at least for the moment. And in a situation like that, an organization or a platform like the United Nations should step it up. When China is trying to bully its way around Taiwan, what is the United Nations stand on this? Is it regional supremacy that China is looking at, or is China as a country trying to send across a message to the entire world? And why is it that be it Russia naming the US in the form of a NATO, or here that China's Nancy Pelosi's visit was a reason enough for China to bully around Taiwan? This is not acceptable, and it should not be. In an increasingly globalized society, like I said, an organization like the United Nations should step in at the right time and do the right thing without waiting for countries to give out their opinions for the United Nations itself to hold some kind of credibility. That's one part of it. As far as China's misadventures is concerned, it's just a couple of days back when Rauf Azhar was to be blacklisted. This was a move that was made, and China blocked it again. What is this policy that China is following? What is it? Is it like dushman ka dushman is dost? So India's enemies are China's friends? Is that what China wants to do? And now it comes down to the policies that we have towards China. Let's talk about the foreign policy that slowly but surely is seeing some kind of an overhauling. Globally, the position of India, you may have heard the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jaishankar, speak about a power structure. Why aren't we in the books of the power structure yet? We are one of the most populous countries in the world. We are number 5 or 6 kind of an economy. And in this situation, if we don't get a seat in that power structure bench, then who else deserves to be there? We are to be there for a number of reasons. We are leading the race with respect to technology. We have some amazing talent. Our defense prowess is only getting better, and we don't use it to bully around our neighbors. We are a responsible nation. And in this scenario, why shouldn't we be on a UN Security Council permanent seat? I tell you why I bring this up. Why should a certain set of countries have an increased amount of vetoing power in comparison to India, especially on issues that bother India? You also heard the External Affairs Minister say that India has experienced and been victimized by terror like nobody else. Not many countries can claim to be victims of terror like India has faced it over the years, over the decades. Now has come a time where India needs to assert itself on various fronts. Now, this assertion is not just machoistic posturing as some of them may diss the government saying. This machoistic posturing is important to instill some kind of a confidence amongst the citizens. That's one part of it. But this machoistic posturing needs to be backed up with the necessary wherewithal. In the sense, we are so heavily dependent on export to the US, buying of weapons from Russia, and importing of many items from China. In a situation like this, can we take a decision that is wholly and solely India-centric without being insulated by the possible ramifications of the decision taken in the future? So we need to look at it in a phase-by-phase manner, I feel. And having the experience that he has as a bureaucrat in the foreign services, he definitely understands it better than you and I. And he claiming that India is on the right path. We are facing conventional and non-conventional challenges as a country. The world is going through a number of situations, and we have challenges facing us in multiple dimensions.
All right.
We can't take a clear stand.
All right, Nikhil. Nikhil, I'm sorry to interrupt you. That was...